Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a classic fairy tale that has been cherished by children and adults alike for many generations. The story begins with a beautiful young princess named Snow White, who lives in a castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the evil queen. Snow White is loved by all who know her, except for the queen, who is jealous of her beauty and kind nature. One day, the queen asks her magic mirror who is the fairest in the land, and is outraged when it tells her that Snow White, not she, is the most beautiful. Consumed by jealousy, the queen orders her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. However, the huntsman cannot go through with the deed and tells Snow White to flee instead. Lost and alone, Snow White stumbles upon a small cottage deep in the woods, inhabited by 7 dwarfs, Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy and Dopey. At first, the dwarfs are hesitant to let Snow White stay, but when they see how kind and helpful she is, they welcome her into their home. The dwarfs go out to work in the mines each day, leaving Snow White alone in the cottage, but warn her not to answer the door to anyone. Unfortunately, the queen soon discovers that Snow White is still alive, and disguises herself as an old woman selling apples. She offers Snow White a poisoned apple, and Snow White naively eats it, falling into a deep sleep that can only be broken by the kiss of true love. The dwarfs return home to find Snow White seemingly dead, and build her a glass coffin to lay her in. As they are mourning her, a handsome prince comes across the cottage and falls in love with Snow White upon seeing her. He asks the dwarfs if he can take her away to his castle, and they agree, hoping that true love's kiss will wake her up. On the journey back to the prince's castle, Snow White's coffin is jostled and a piece of the poisoned apple falls out of her throat, reviving her. She wakes up in time to receive the prince's kiss, and they live happily ever after. Meanwhile, the queen is punished for her evil deeds when she attends Snow White's wedding and is forced to wear red-hot iron shoes that burn her feet until she falls down dead. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs is a classic tale that has been retold in numerous adaptations over the years, from Disney's animated film in 1937 to recent live-action versions. Its timeless message of the triumph of good over evil and the power of love has resonated with audiences young and old for centuries.